In 2016, there were more Americans in Iceland than Icelanders. Spending nearly 4 months on the island as the first stop within my travels as the Society of Architectural Historians H. Allen Brooks Traveling Fellow, I contributed to these unparalleled statistics and witnessed firsthand the impact of tourism on the built and natural environment. With a population of nearly 333,000, with more than 60% living in the capital region, annual visitors to the island have outnumbered Icelanders since 2003. After the economic crash of 2008 that crippled the northernmost capital in the world, Iceland invested in an ambitious tourist campaign. Now, because of the success of the campaign, the island finds itself at an economical and ecological precipice. The number of international visitors has risen dramatically since 2010, and 2015 marked the first year that the island welcomed over 1 million tourists, arriving by airplane and cruise ship. The visitor numbers to Iceland are escalating much faster than the necessary conservation or infrastructure projects. Additionally, more frequent bus journeys and increased numbers of rental cars on the road mean that Icelandic travel boards must monitor issues that are infrequently discussed in guidebooks or glossy travel magazines. Waste and the lack of public restrooms is an issue. At Thingvellir National Park alone, one of the sites in the man-made tourist route named the Golden Circle, visitor numbers have increased by 80% in the last decade, causing a dramatic increase in site erosion at the continental rift, and this necessitates new measures to monitor water and soil quality. This also means that tourists may be relieving themselves in inappropriate places within the national park, unable to find the necessary facilities. On trails and at historic sites, especially in wild landscapes, tourists adhere to the flush and forget concept. Yet, in a typical waterborne sanitation system, each flush uses 50 liters of fresh, treated drinking water. In a nation with a volcanic landscape, making infrastructure projects both complicated and expensive, traditional sanitation systems should not be the way forward. Iceland's Academy of the Arts and the Tourist Board are keen to address topics in sanitation related to the soaring visitor numbers, and it is clear that local architects are also responding to the challenges of building a sustainable network for tourism. The pace, however, is too rapid. Nonetheless, there are projects like the Snæfellsstosa Visitor Center in eastern Iceland. Opened in June 2010, this is a model for sustainable development as the first BREEAM-certified building in Iceland. However, not all sites on the nation can support the construction of a visitor center, and they must create new ways to deal with tourist waste that are not dependent on chemical toilets. New vacuum flush toilets use only 200 milliliters of water per flush, and other systems can harvest rainwater or other forms of gray water for flushing. The ever-present tension in Iceland between tourist capital and the landscape needs to be fully addressed. In some instances, the relationship between the designed and natural environment is highly structured and carefully managed, such as in the capital. But visitors can easily overwhelm other sites, especially in rural areas like the Golden Circle and Ring Road. To handle the steady stream of new visitors rising exponentially each year, Iceland will need new systems, and quickly. Otherwise, a nation once known for its pioneering geothermal technology in the early 20th century and its closed-loop self-sufficiency will suddenly be littered with waste and a network of insufficient plumbing.